Alright, we gotta talk about this Soldier Anby situation because I can't put this off for any longer, okay? This might be the biggest disappointment in all of Zenless Zone Zero after like a little over a year's worth of time. This is insane. We just got some news just the other night, okay, that has kind of like put the nail in the coffin for a lot of people as far as Soldier Anby's relevancy as far as the meta is concerned. But I just noticed something that I hadn't realized that has basically already sealed the deal, that Soldier Anby's relevance has already started to fall. Okay, but this is more than just about Soldier Anby technically, so let's go ahead and get into this. We gotta talk a little bit about Powercreep, the W engine situation, you know what I mean? But let's go ahead and get started here. So first of all, I just want you to take a look at this here. Look at this situation. Soldier Anby here at tier 0, and I mean, I know time flies, right? But like, it feels like she came out not all that long ago and she's already here at tier 1? I mean, yeah, sure, she's still relevant, but bro, I didn't even realize that Yanagi is sitting higher than she is. That is stupid. How the hell are we seeing her fall behind? That's ridiculous. You know, she even brought Aftershock into the game as the first Aftershock character. We saw Trigger and Pulchra same patch, and then we end up seeing, of course, later on we see Yuzuha recently, and we see Jifufu. So Aftershock's getting stuff. That's cool. But how is the original, like, Aftershock sort of electric DPS falling behind so soon? And dude, with last night's, or I think it was 2 nights ago now, dude, Seed is coming into the game and she's going to be an electric attack unit. I think most people thought Seed was going to end up being like maybe a stunner or like a supportive character, at least on first glance. I also think most of us thought they were going to be a robot only, and we'd finally get a Hoyoverse robot, but for the first time. I mean, let's be honest, we're not getting a robot ever, bro. Like, just a straight-up robot. They refuse to release Skrullum in Honkai Star Rail. I mean, it's been over we're approaching 2.5 years, and they just refuse to release him. It's like a hoax. We saw his in-game model, you guys. We'll stop pretending like we didn't see it. But that's a rant for another day. But dude, seriously, this character's releasing as an Obel Squad member as well. Dude, if this character ends up being better than Soldier Anby, I think people are gonna lose their minds. I think people are already losing their minds. I mean, dude, based on how things have kind of gone in this game for the most part, it feels inevitable that Seed will release as better than Soldier Anby, probably like a 0.5. That's been, I feel like, the average placement for most DPS characters that come out, because although we have Miyabi, although we have, you know, Yixuan, like these two characters are kind of the only true examples of like proper power creep for the DPS slot in the game, I'd say. I think everywhere else has been generally okay. I think maybe with the exception of Soldier Anby, who has fallen off faster than I think any other character has up to this point. And if Seed ends up coming out, and that's not that far away, that's drip marketing that came out the other night. You know what I mean? Yuzuha's been out for like a week. Like, that's like 5 weeks away that we should be seeing this character, and it feels like they're probably going to release on the same tier or higher than we see Soldier Anby, more than likely. Let's be honest, that's the most likely scenario. And it's just wild to me that this would happen to such a beloved bogo-eating character. I mean, she's just chilling eating her boogers, having like a dark past. You'd think this character being a fan favorite, them knowing it's a fan favorite, very quickly making a 5-star variant of them, and then just like completely forgetting that they exist, it feels like. It's kind of insane. And yo, I'm not even capping, okay? Soldier Anby straight up is the biggest disappointment in the entire game. You might not believe me, let's go through this a little bit with some of these characters, because I'm pissed. They ruined our Burger Eater, okay? Caesar King getting dropped down to tier 1. That's a disappointment for sure. However, we did just get Yuzuha into the game. She's also a physical supportive style character, and although seeing these A ranks above her is kind of wild, this did happen recently. And you still see Sukaku stay winning, you know what I mean? Like, and by the way, y'all that occasionally make the, like, Sukaku ain't good comments, like, y'all are self-reporting, just so that you know. I hope you guys know that. That's a self-report, that you don't know that a whole lot about the game. She's still utilized on one of the best teams with Miyabi, and Yuzuha recently coming out actually makes that team even stronger. These three are insane together, so just so that you're aware, but it is weird to see them above Caesar King. And so that is disappointing, but I wouldn't say as big of a deal as Soldier Anby already dropping down to tier 1, like twice as fast as Caesar King drop down. We see Jane Doe, a bit of a disappointment, sitting here next to Piper. Their competition? Crazy that the A rank's right next to them at tier 0 or tier 1.5. And look at this. These are our physical DPS characters. Currently, that's them. That's it, right? That's wild. You know, of course you got Bill, you have these other ones, but what I mean to say is like these are our highest tier characters for that slot. We are going to be getting Alice like really soon, so she's probably gonna, in my estimation, gonna be landing somewhere around here, maybe bottom of 0.5, maybe top of tier 1, something like that. That's my estimation. And so you're probably gonna see Jane Doe and Piper either move down one slot, or you're gonna see maybe one of them move down a slot. I have a feeling they're gonna stay where they are, though. I don't think that Alice coming to the game necessarily takes away from them. But I do feel like it's going to be a situation of like maybe the watch list tag getting added to one of these characters when she does release, pushing them down even further. So I'd say that these two are probably the biggest disappointments, is Jane Doe already like kind of moving down pretty far, and Soldier Anby. But I think Soldier Anby is a bigger disappointment because it happened just so fast. And bro, we're getting Yanagi, a rerun for her, at the same time as this character Seed. It's going to be a part 2 of the patch that's going to be full electric the whole entire way through. That basically means that you're not going to probably see, like the odds are you're probably not going to see a strong electric DPS for a significant amount of time after this. This Seed character is going to have to fit that role for a while. That's going to probably mean she release as a very strong unit for that slot. Not like tier 0, but she's probably going to release as a 0.5 ahead of like everybody else. And do I think the game is cooked because of this? No. Like it's just kind of disappointing and something to talk about. Like, is power creep a huge issue in the game? Not really. Like, you mostly just have like Miyabi and Yixuan whenever they feel like releasing a Void Hunter level character, they can just do it, right? And the excuse for Yixuan is that she's not a Void Hunter, she's Void Hunter level. So now this is like a supercharged excuse whenever they feel like doing that. They don't even have to release a Void Hunter. They can just say, oh, it's Void Hunter level, and like, boom, just like nobody cares, it's fine. But like, let's be honest, they're probably not going to do it too much. I think by the end of the 2.x blocks, we'll see another character that's a Void Hunter level, maybe even a Void Hunter themselves. But that's just my guess. I don't think it's going to be necessarily only one Void Hunter level every new region. It could be up to 2, depending on how they release their schedule. You see what I'm saying? It's 2.0 we got Yixuan, guys. You really think they're not going to release another Void Hunter level character by the end of 2.x? Come on. So I don't really think character power creep is really a problem yet. It's only been a year, guys. Let's be honest. That's not a whole lot of time to cook. But I do think the weapon situation is a big problem in this game. Look at this difference in DPS. This is insane. This is crazy, okay? This is like over 20% between Miyabi's signature weapon and the next weapon that you could be using. And this is an S rank, yeah. So if you go down to the next option, it's almost like 25% almost of a drop off to the A rank option, which is going to be most people's secondary option if they don't have the signature. Now, this is an incredible signature weapon. I do highly suggest everybody get it, and it's thankfully available right now. I didn't grab this the first time around. I was too low on pulls, but I ended up getting it on the rerun just now, and it's definitely making an improvement. Didn't really need it, right? But it's something fun and comfortable, and we can use that signature weapon on a bunch of other characters. It's an anomaly weapon that we don't have a whole lot of for that slot. It's a nice weapon. I think Yuzuha is a great example of a character that came out where the weapon situation was not actually a problem, thank God, like for once. In fact, an A rank weapon is like highly competitive and the one I would recommend most people use. You just don't really need the signature per se, even though you can't technically reach a certain threshold without that signature weapon. You don't need all that mastery, guys, on the anomaly. It's fine. And oh my god, the weapon situation with Yixuan's actually the worst one in the entire game. This is actually it, because she's the only rupture DPS in the game. She's the only one who can really utilize this type of weapon. And thankfully, they didn't just give her a signature weapon, they did give her kind of like an A rank weapon that she can only utilize right now, so it's kind of like her A rank signature, even though it's not. However, this is surprisingly worse than an S rank that is only utilized as a stat stick on her. Meaning that only the crit rate and attack work, it's just a stat stick. Because she's a rupture agent, this effect that I'm highlighting doesn't even work on her. That's how bad her weapon situation is. That the A rank option you have is technically worse than an S rank option that doesn't even actually work. The only thing you get from it is the stats, the static base stats for crit rate and attack from Steel Cushion. And by the way, you can use other S ranks as well, as long as it has the same stats, the crit rate and the attack, something like that can work on her. And dude, the other S rank signature options are only like 1%, less than 1% better than the standard banner option. So realistically, most people are going to see all these issues down here and be like, fuck that, and just get her signature. But that feels scummy. That feels not fun. Bro, come on. Like, we need something better than just this. This is the actual worst weapon situation in the game. As I said, the weapon situation is not exclusive to the best characters in the game. It pretty much happens to most DPS characters that come out these days. This is almost a 20% difference. This is pretty much just as big of a difference as Miyabi and Yixuan's weapon situation. And by the way, this is a signature weapon as the best option. This is usually not what people are going to have. It's usually going to be like Brimstone or something like this, which is nearly a 25% fall off. That's crazy. And then if you go to the A rank options, you're looking at actually a 25% fall off. That's why. This is Evelyn, by the way. This is Evelyn. Okay, this is just a good character, not the best. This happens all the time. I think Hugo is actually maybe like the first case in a long time that wasn't like Omega like that. But when you look at the options available, it's his signature and then another signature, another signature, another signature. Man, you got to go down pretty far, don't you? Oh, wait, this is another signature, another signature. Oh, boy, never mind. It just felt like it wasn't that big of an issue. Unless you have one of these signatures, it's a 25% fall off once again, bro. Once again. And Gilded Blossom, by the way, for example, if you had this is an event cone. You can only get this from the event. So hopefully you have plenty of Mercado Desire to use if you're running Hugo, or hopefully just one of these other signatures that came along down the line. But it's, to be fair, been a problem in ZZZ, Honkai Star, in all the top Hoyoverse games, right? But even Wuthering Waves, I've been seeing this a little bit more as well. Not as bad, but it's been happening there too. And thankfully, some of these weapons are like pretty just universally good. They'll work on like several different other characters, but those ones are a little bit more rare. Lately, I've noticed in a lot of these gacha games, we've been seeing more niche weapons that are more specific, making them really powerful on like their signature character, but significantly less powerful on pretty much any other character that's not them. So hopefully if y'all do invest into any of these like signature weapons in any of these games, you pay attention and make sure that you pick one that can work on a multitude of characters rather than just one specific one, unless maybe it was a Miyabi or a Yixuan. I think those two are rare examples where usually supports are the better characters to invest into in a lot of these games, but in a rare situation with Miyabi and Yixuan, those are two characters that are DPSs that you could actually build your account around because they're that strong. But just be aware, they are going to cater new endgame to new units, and they're doing it even more lately. I mean, just look at Miasma, bro. Like, what is that? That is literally just like a pull Yixuan moment, right? That's so silly. And oh my gosh, the new endgame is so silly. Miasma Jane is ridiculous. I mean, if she didn't look so hot, I'd be way more mad about it. But I mean, she got the booty, so it's kind of cool, I guess. But I mean, seriously, she's actually worse than the second half of like the current endgame. That's kind of wild, right? And don't take any of this the wrong way. I actually love Zenless Zones Zero. I've been putting more time in Zenless Zones Zero than probably any other game, at least in the most recent times, right? Like, I've been really enjoying it, and the combat's stellar. I love it. It's fun. It's up there. But we got to be vocal about these type of things that we don't like in the game, or that like the direction we want to see the game move into, because if we're vocal enough about it, we actually can get something done. So many times people are like, man, you guys complain and they never do anything. Bro, Zenless Zone Zero is the game they did change something. Remember the TV system? Remember all the different things on launch that we didn't like, that we were vocal about? None of those things are a problem anymore. All of them are gone, every single one of them, because we were very vocal about it, and we made it matter, right? So yeah, this was a silly video. Let me know what you think about the Soldier Anby situation. Let me know if you're pulling seed, or if you're just gonna stay a diehard Anby fan eating your bogos. Let me know what you think about the weapon situation, the W engine situation, because let's be honest, it just is a thing. And if you think Powercreep's an issue or not, because it only really happens like once or twice a year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.